I've lived in my house for 5 years. 5 years of thinking I knew every squeaky floorboard, every drafty corner, and every place my cat likes to barf at 3 a.m. And yet, last Tuesday, I discovered something unexpected. It started when I dropped a spoon. Sounds boring, I know. But the spoon rolled across the kitchen floor, wobbled dramatically like it was auditioning for a cooking show, and disappeared under the cabinet. The problem? There's no under to that cabinet. Or at least, there shouldn't be. Naturally, I did what any sane person would do when faced with a potentially cursed spoon situation. I grabbed a flashlight and shoved my head into the darkness. That's when I saw it, a crack. Not in the cabinet, but in the wall. Now, before you judge me for immediately prying at it with a butter knife, let me remind you, I'm nosy. And my husband, Matt, was at work. Which meant I had at least 6 hours of uninterrupted snooping time. The crack gave way faster than I expected, and the next thing I knew, I'd uncovered the edge of a door. A hidden door. In my kitchen. It was painted the exact same color as the wall, with no handle. If I hadn't dropped that spoon, I never would have noticed it. Here's where things get weirder. I managed to pull it open, with a mix of brute strength and swearing, and behind it was a narrow staircase. Leading down. Now, our house already has a basement. A perfectly normal, spider-infested basement. So where this second staircase was leading? No idea. But obviously, I was going to find out. I descended the stairs slowly, my phone flashlight shaking in my hand. The air down there was cold and smelled faintly like coffee? And cinnamon? When I reached the bottom, I found myself in a small, dimly lit room. And oh, my God. There was a couch. A desk. A mini fridge. A shelf stacked with books, snacks, and, oh, great, scented candles. In the middle of it all sat a giant corkboard, covered in photos, notes, and, wait. Were those pictures of me? I froze. Not because the pictures were bad, though, let's be honest, some of them were not my most flattering moments, but because I didn't remember posing for these. One shot was me in the grocery store, holding a pineapple and glaring at it like it had personally insulted my family. Another was me sitting in the car, clearly mid-yawn. And the weirdest one? Me asleep on the couch, with a blanket I didn't own. Okay, I muttered to myself, this is either a harmless quirky thing, or I've stumbled into a Netflix crime documentary. I started scanning the rest of the room. The books were mostly crime novels and DIY carpentry guides. The snacks were all my favorites, peanut and MS, sour cream and onion chips, and those weird pretzel bites you can only find in one specific gas station 20 minutes away. Then I found the notebooks. 4 of them. All filled with my husband Matt's handwriting. The first one was boring, just lists of household chores, grocery receipts, and random sketches of furniture. The second? Notes on observations. As in, me. Things like, asterisk, she leaves her coffee mug on the counter every morning. Always 3 sips left. Asterisk, she hums when she's reading. Seems unaware. Asterisk, she laughed so hard at the dog video last night she snorted. Twice. At first, I thought maybe it was cute. Weird, but cute. Like some sort of personal love diary. Then I opened notebook 3. It was, plans. Schedules. Dates circled with notes like Phase 2 and Test Response. Drawings of our kitchen with certain cabinets marked in red. One page just said, in all caps, do not tell her. I felt a cold shiver run down my spine. And that's when I heard the sound. Footsteps. On the stairs. The creak of the second stair was the loudest thing I'd ever heard in my life. I shoved the notebooks back onto the shelf, grabbed the nearest object, which turned out to be a giant decorative pineapple lamp, and positioned myself like some deranged home defense warrior. Hello? Matt's voice floated down from above. He sounded normal. Too normal. I quickly scanned the basement. The only exit besides the stairs was a tiny, half-blocked window, not exactly an option unless I suddenly became a raccoon. Matt appeared at the bottom of the stairs, holding a plastic grocery bag. Hey, he said, like it was just another Tuesday. Why are you down here? I raised the pineapple lamp higher. Matt. Why are there pictures of me all over your basement? He froze. His eyes flicked to the shelf, the exact one with the notebooks, then back to me. That's, research. Research? For what? I demanded. He put the bag down slowly, like he was dealing with a wild animal. Okay. Before you freak out. Oh, I'm already freaking out, I cut him off. Matt sighed. It's a surprise. For our anniversary. I blinked. You celebrate anniversaries with secret surveillance? He started pacing. Not surveillance. More like, collecting moments. I was making you a book. A day in the life of you kind of thing. I wanted it to be authentic. Candid. I wanted to laugh, but my brain was too busy screaming. Authentic? You have phases marked in a notebook. Cabinets in red. What is this, an anniversary gift or a CIA op? Matt ran a hand through his hair. Okay, the cabinets thing was unrelated. Unrelated to what? He hesitated. Then he said, fine. Promise you won't tell anyone? I didn't answer. He leaned in, whispering like someone might be listening. I think our neighbor is stealing from us. I was setting up a little trap. But I didn't want to scare you. At that moment, something banged upstairs. Loud. We both froze. Matt whispered, that wasn't the dog. The bang was followed by the sound of something dragging across the kitchen floor. Matt and I locked eyes. Without another word, he grabbed an old baseball bat from the corner. I still clutched the pineapple lamp, which, by now, felt less like a weapon and more like a fragile liability. We crept upstairs, each step somehow louder than the last. From the hallway, we could see the kitchen light on. A shadow moved across the wall, tall, quick. Matt mouthed, stay here. I mouthed back, not a chance. We burst into the kitchen together. And found our neighbor, Carl, standing there holding our toaster. He froze. We froze. The toaster looked deeply uncomfortable in the whole situation. What the hell? Matt's voice was low, dangerous. Carl had the audacity to shrug. You weren't using it. That's because it was in our house, I snapped. Carl set the toaster down on the counter like he was doing us a favor. Then he noticed the pineapple lamp in my hands. Nice lamp, he said. Expensive? That was it, the final straw. Matt lunged forward, but Carl darted to the side and bolted for the door. Now, this is the part of the story I didn't think anyone would believe, but we chased him. Barefoot. In our pajamas. Down the street. Carl was fast for a man in his 60s, but adrenaline makes you faster. We caught him halfway to his driveway, or rather, Matt tackled him, and I sort of, assisted by hitting him with the lamp. It didn't break. Quality craftsmanship. A few minutes later, the police arrived, called by another neighbor who thought we were mugging a senior citizen. Carl tried to play innocent, claiming he was just borrowing things. But Matt pulled out one of his secret notebooks and pointed to a page marked, Carl, 7 items taken. Still has, toaster, leaf blower, my lawn gnome **. It was enough to make the cops very interested in Carl's garage. Turns out, he had everything. Half our kitchen gadgets, Matt's drill, and, somehow, my missing yoga mat. As they took Carl away, Matt turned to me. Told you the cabinets were unrelated. I stared at him for a long second. Then, finally, I laughed. The whole thing, the notebooks, the chase, the pineapple lamp, suddenly felt absurd. We walked home together, me still holding the lamp like some weird trophy. You know, I said, next anniversary, just get me flowers. Matt grinned. No promises.